Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we are looking at 7 Up. Now, if you've watched yesterday's video, you'll appreciate essentially what we're doing today. So after a weekend of particularly difficult puzzles, I'm going to say, and I even noticed that some of you were taking a long time to solve Willpower's gas puzzle. So I really think it's about time that I actually introduced even more approachable puzzles to this channel. Now, what I'm thinking is I want to do this either every Tuesday, so essentially for regular viewers of the channel that are in the Americas, you'll get it your Monday evening, or a Monday puzzle, so that our European regular viewers will actually get it for their Monday morning. But essentially, I'm looking for a series of relatively approachable puzzles, much easier than anything we featured so far, that are going to be a good way to start your week. Now, I just want to first say thank you to the constructors from FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. It's a website that has many of these highly approachable puzzles. And like I mentioned before, they are essentially the masterminds behind the GAS series, the generally accessible Sudoku variant puzzles. And this is basically along that vein. Some of them are even simpler. I tested a couple of them, and you can almost solve some of them in a minute, at least when they are sort of less than 9 by 9. You know, if you go for a 6 by 6 or even smaller, you can just about do them in a minute. But I think they're 9 by 9 puzzles. It's still going to be around 5 minutes if you're, if you find some of the puzzles that we feature on here relatively easy. However, this is really targeted at the audience that still take an hour to solve some of our more approachable puzzles. So this should be a lot easier to basically take a look at. Each one of these are essentially an introduction for some of the variant rules that we tend to use regularly. So I hope you really enjoy it, and let me know in the comments whether you prefer this on Monday or Tuesday to make this a regular part of the channel. So enough of an introduction. Let's take a look at what 7 Up holds in store for us. So this is 7 Up by FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. I'm essentially working through the series in a chronological order. So this is essentially their first approachable puzzle, and we'll continue from there. So first off, you can see that it is absolutely covered with white and black dots, and we'll explain those in a second. But first rule that we have, normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and every 3 by 3 box. That's clearly not a 3 by 3 box. This is a 3 by 3 box. Now, cells separated by a white dot differ by 1. So for example, these two, if this is a 2, this digit would have to be different by no more than 1, exactly 1 I should say. So this is either 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Now, continuing along the same lines, black Kropki dots. So this 2 here is joined by a black Kropki dot as a neighbor, and this would have to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. So you should be able to multiply one of these cells by 2 to get the outcome in this cell. So this could be a 1, and 1 times 2 gets us to 2, or 2 times 2 gets us to 4. So this would be a completely valid pencil mark, assuming this cell is a 2. And obviously you've got a large number of dots throughout. That's really how you're going to be able to solve this puzzle, because clearly the 7 on its own is not going to get you anywhere. Now, if you've been hesitant in the past about solving some of these Sudoku variants, this is your chance. Link will be in the description down below as usual. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, I'm sure many of you have already spotted this. If you think about black Kropki dots for a second, they come in 3 groups. Group 1 is essentially powers of 2. So 1, 2, 4, and 8. And you can see, you can essentially chain these up where the next digit is essentially 2 times the previous one. So 1, 2, 4, 8 is one group. There is another group that can actually go on a black Kropki dot, and that's the 3 and the 6. Because you can do 2 times 3 to get 6, or obviously 6 divided by 2 to get to 3. There are also a third group, 5, 7, and 9, that you can never place on a black Kropki dot. But if you give that a go, you'll see that 5 times 2, well, we've clearly broken the puzzle because that gets us to 10. 5 divided by 2 also breaks the puzzle because that gets us 2.5. So the 5, 7, and 9 can never be on a black Kropki dot. Whenever you see a black Kropki dot on the puzzles, particularly when you see a series of them, a long chain like this, you immediately know that it has got to be the 1, 2, 4, 8 variant. Because if I go for 3 and 6, I've already broken it because the next one in the chain is a 3, and I end up repeating digits in the column. So let's make this explicit. This is 1, 8, this is 2, 4, and this is 1, 8. And a valid fill of this could either be 1, 2, 4, 8 or 8, 4, 2, 1. Let's take a look at this. If this is a 1, both of these would have to be a 2. More importantly, this would be a 2 and this would be a 2. I'd repeat 2 in the column. So that's got to be an 8, 4, 2, and 1. These have got to be 7 and 9. This 7 helpfully tells us what they are. This is the 7, this is the 9. Remember, that on the white dot, they have to be 1 away from this. We've already taken the 8, so the 7 can only be joined with a 6. The 6 can only be joined with a 5. This could actually go back up to, and in fact, it has to go up to 6 to be able to be between the 7 and the 5. So that's 6, that's 3. This has to be 7 because we've taken the 5, 7. This could be 6 or 8. We don't actually know. And there are no negative constraints. So there's nothing in the rule set that says if this is an 8, it would have to have a black Kropki dot between it and the 4. So an 8 here is actually totally valid. But whatever it is, it's going to go 7, 6, 5 or 7, 8, 9. It can't really go back down to a 7 because it's already in the box. You can see as well with this white Kropki dot, we've essentially got either a 5, 6 in here or a 5, 6 in there, or an 8, 9 in here and an 8, 9 there. What we cannot place on either of these two white Kropki dots is the 3. So that has to go here. And this is now 5, 6, which it isn't. Take a look at what's pointing at this cell. I couldn't go with 5, 6 because I wouldn't be able to place either of them in this cell. So this is 8, 9. The black Kropki dot tells us the order. Can't put a 9 on a black Kropki dot. So that's 8, that's 9, that's 5, that's 6. 8 can only be joined with a 4 in a black Kropki dot, and this is now 3 or 5 on the white. So we're off to a pretty good start here. Let's see if we can keep it going. We've got 1, 2, 4, and 8 already used up. This can only be 3 and 6. This here is either 5 or 7 if it's a 6. If it's a 3, both 2 and 4 are gone. So that can only be a 6. This can only be a 3. This is 5 or 7. If it's a 5, this would be 4 available. If this is a 7, this would be 8 still available. Disappointingly so. And I guess it will go 6, 5, 4, 3. Breaks 6, 7, 8, 9. Nothing breaks it. So that gives us the order. That's 9, 8, and 7. This is going to be from 1, 2, and 4. Can't be 3, 6 because we've already got a 6 in here. Can't be 4, 8. We've already got an 8. There has to be a 2 in here because it's either a 1, 2 or a 2, 4. We don't know which it is. Take a look at where the 3 goes. 3 can only go in here with Sudoku. This can only be 2 or 4. Therefore, this has to be a 1, 2 pair. Because if I try and make this a 2, 4 pair, there's no value that I can put in here. So this is a 1, 2 pair. This is a 4. This is whatever the remaining digit is, which is a 5. 1 or 2 means this is, we've already placed the 4, so this is 1 or 2 again. This is 2 or 4. And this is 1, 2 or 4. This is 1 or 2. It's not 4 because we've got a 4 in the column. 1, 2 pair now. Taking a look at this. This can only be a 4. Therefore, this can only be a 2. 1, 2, 2, 1. 6, 7. I should have just finished this earlier. I don't know why I didn't. 8, 9, 8. And then the 8s can only be joined with a 4 on the black Kropki. This can go back up to 8. but it can't because it's in the row. So this is back down to 2. Can't go back up to 4, it's in the column. So this is a 1. We've got 2 cells in here that are joining. This is a 3, 4. If this is a 3, this could be 2 or 4, both of which are unavailable. That's got to be the 4, that's got to be the 3. And this is now 3 or 5. We've got a 3 in the row. That can only be a 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all placed. We need 6. I mean, this can only be 7, 6. And I'll explain why. This 8, I mean, it can go up to 9, although it can't because we've got it here in the row. But what digit would this have been? It would have been a 10. So I just looked at this, seeing that it is a series. If that's a 9, I've broken it. So it can only be going down 8, 7, 6, and the 9 would be up here. That would be the 8, 4, and the 2 as a chain here. This could be 7 or 9. We've got 7 in the row. This can only be a 9. 4. This has to be 3, 5. On the row, we've got a 3 here. So that's the 5. That's the 3. That's the 3. That's the 6 on a black Kropki dot. That's the 1 to finish the column. Sorry, I'm moving around just looking for more Kropki dots to solve, really. So I've got 1 and 5. 5 has to go here. 1 has to be there. Couldn't place the 5 on the black Kropki. That's a 2. Can't go back up to a 4. Has to come back down to a 1. This 5 is looking at this 3, 5. That's a 3. We've got a massive chain here. So whatever this is, that's the 1. And then I need a chain of 9, 8, 7, 6. Because I noticed the 9 was in this box, I knew that it's going down from 9 this way, not 9 that way. And this can only be a 5 or a 7. Surprisingly, both of which are available. This can be back, and in fact has to be back to 6. Does it? Because if it's 5, I need a 6 to join the 7. If it's 7, this could have been an 8, but I've already placed it. So that can only be a 6. This has to be the 5 to complete it. This has to be a 3. This is now 5 or 7. It is a 7 because we've got a 5 in the column, and this has to be a 5. We need something in here to finish this. This is a 7. I need a 2, 8, and 9. You can see 8 and 9 are in the row. This is the 2. These are unresolved for now, 8, 9 pair. We have 2 and 5. You can see the 2 and the 5. They're going to tell us the orders. That's the 2, that's the 5. This can only be 4 or 6. I've got 6 in the row. That's a 4. Finish the row, it is a 1. I need 7 or 8 in the column. 7 here tells me that this is the 8, this is the 7. This 8 tells me this is a 9, this is the 8. I need now 6 and 9. 6 here tells me this is the 6. Equally, this 9 here tells me this is the 9. And that's a solution to today's puzzle. So, I mean, I took a lengthier sort of set of explanations to make sure this is a lot more approachable for everyone. I'm expecting majority of you would be able to do this in under 10 minutes. But for those of you that have found this enjoyable, more approachable, very much welcome you to the channel, and I hope you enjoy it. And check back every week where we'll continue with these series. That's it for now, and see you back at the next video. Bye for now.